Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Jamie Scrafton from the Online Racing Network, and here we are tonight at Suzuka for round 2 of the Nxtgen Hot Hatch League. So, I wasn't here for practice. However, I've heard good things for Lou Archer there, pro_Lou Archer, who has apparently set an amazing lap in the first practice session, well, the only practice session. Currently it is... Oh, I just realised my, oops. Sorry, the quality seems to be a bit terrible tonight. I'm just looking back on the playback. We are having some sort of internet issues at the household, so hopefully the stream does stay up. Yeah, there's been a number of complaints from people online around where I live about the BT connection, but oh well, it's normally flawless, so hopefully it'll pick itself back up. So currently it is Don Dodder sitting in the pole position. We do expect to go racing at 8:30 GMT or BST, whatever we're on right now. I forget. Now, I did commentate for the races here back during the off season on a different channel, which some of you may know, and it was actually NGR Robinson who won both of those races. So he won race 1, had to start at the back of the pack for race 2, and still ended up in victory lane. So will he be able to repeat his success again? Don't believe he was driving the same vehicle, but I mean, as you can see, currently it's a Honda Civic that's sitting in the pole position. Let's check in with JD Green driving the Megane. He currently sits in second on the board. That's another Megane up into the top 3. Remember guys, if you're just tuning in, this is qualifying. Our first race, the sprint race, due to start at 8:30 GMT. There is NGR Robinson, he's back into the top 3. Of course, GT Sport seems to just, if people have gone in the pits, their time isn't put on the board any longer, but as you can see here. So if we scroll down, look at 53.6 here. But Baz is set at 52.1, but he's in 9th because presumably he's in the pits. As you can see, Don heading into the pits now. So we have Lorna and JD Green teamed up. I'm just going to check the chat, seeing some stuff popping through. Yeah, everyone's got golf. I'm not sure what's going on, man. They seem to have these issues. The internet's been a bit slow, regardless. Like on my phone, despite it showing me the stream back, I've got no bars on my Wi-Fi. I should probably check that's not using mobile data, because that could be a problem. I'll turn mobile data off and hopefully that doesn't kill it. If it kills the stream, it's going to be bad. Yeah, normally Blake, the internet's pretty good, but I don't know, the last few days it's been acting up. Hopefully, I'll ask the guys to save the replays of the race, and I'll get those races re-uploaded if I look back and it's too poor. In fact, I'm going to do that right now. Okay, so hopefully we'll get those races re-uploaded for you, likely without commentary, but we'll see. The only reason I wouldn't comment on them is because I know what's going to happen, and obviously it would be less enthusiastic. Saxo putting down a good pace there. Look how close the top 3 are on this board. Very close. That's Game Ranger off into the grass there on the right hand side. Now we got BT, Blake. BT. But it seems to be the whole estate, like, we all seem to have the same problem at the same time. Because you hear people talking about it and stuff. There is Bit, and I don't know why, but his paint scheme heavily reminds me of like the Kellogg's cornflakes, the chicken. Don't know, it makes me think of the chicken from the Kellogg's cornflakes. Not entirely sure why, but there you go. Hopefully I'm not the only one that sees that. Hopefully I'm not crazy. Juddy, of course, and the Mr. Men. Livery this beautifully put together piece. Love that paint scheme, glad to see it on track this evening. Polish, Saxo's teammate currently in 11th on the board right now. We actually do have a full house, guys, 15 drivers here tonight. Should be quite interesting around the Suzuka short circuit. You basically have, and this is why I really like driving here too, is you've got that really long front straightaway and then the whole back section. I mean, it's basically just an oval, but in the back section is just basically a load of S's. So it's a straight, then a load of S's, and then that's a lap here at Suzuka Short. It's great fun. And boom, Don back to the top, 53.31. We know that there is a 52 out there by Blue Gobi, but he's currently not out on the track. He's currently sat here in the pits. I believe it said on the board he was 52. Just looking now, that seems a bit ambitious, but he could have done it. It wouldn't surprise me. No, 53. Where did I see the 52? My mind's playing tricks on me. No, 53. The 53, 54 range. is in seconds where we're sitting. So Polish may be having issues constantly coming in and out of the room. Let's check the stream quality again. Refreshed it now, it's blotchy. It's making me a bit sick. It's making me feel sick, guys. I'm really apologetic that this is the stream quality you guys are receiving. It's from the guys that have seen my stuff before, you know it's never normally like this. I'll have to look into this before Thursday, for the Thursday night GT3 Championship, brought to you by the race department. I mean, it was fine last night. I was streaming some stuff last night on my personal channel and the quality was not like this, so I'm guessing I don't know. I don't know, guys. Apologies. These races will be re-uploaded tomorrow, most likely in full HD from the video files. So I'll record them, save the replays, record them, so there's no streaming issues, and just simply upload them back onto this channel. So if you time it right, I guess you could have this stream in one window and the replay in another, and you'd get the exact same commentary as I'm giving now, if you wanted to. Don, still your pole sitter for the moment. 2 minutes remaining in qualifying. The Honda Civic may be starting from the first position. That would be interesting, alongside another Honda. So the Honda seems to be the car to beat so far in terms of lap time anyway. Of course, in race conditions that can be very different. Blue Gobi there setting the way for the McGanns, and then it's his teammate Baz just behind. Quite surprised actually. I did think that the Golfs would be sitting a little higher than this, maybe around between the 3rd and 5th positions, but those McGanns are fast, especially those in them. So our defending winner here at Suzuka is going to have some work to do on this first sprint race. My apologies. Less than a minute to go in qualifying. Can Saxo maybe snatch that pole away? It looks like he's not even going to try in a lap. He's happy with what he's got. He's going to be on the front row. Well, hopefully he'll be on the front row unless someone puts down something quite impressive. However, if Saxo is coming into the pits, I do not think that Don Dotter will be beaten for the pole. Now these guys, of course, coming out because on GT Sport for some reason, to be allowed to start in your qualified position, you have to pass the Sector 1 line on the racetrack and just come to a stop. Or you can keep driving around, I guess, but everyone has to be past the Sector 1 line to get their spot. As you can see, the final has been started. We will be racing very shortly, guys. Somehow, I don't know what happened there. It would appear the grid is messed up. Game Ranger currently sits in the first position. I don't know what's happened here, whether we'll actually go green. Green flag's out. Doesn't look like anyone has said anything. Game Ranger on the pole. Look at them, 3 wide already, heading towards turn 1 here. Saxo with the advantage on the outside, swings it around. He's going straight for the lead. He wants to take that away from Game Ranger and try and pull away from these guys. 15 laps here at Suzuka East for the first sprint event. So our pole sitter effectively on the board, Don Dotter now. I don't know where he started exactly, but he's now starting 4th. He should be out there in front. I don't know what happened there. Interesting to see what happened there. Because no one's mentioned anything like the grid start was wrong. But we will have to see how this plays out. Game Range are going to lead the first lap. But Saxo using that slipstream down the front stretch. But it looks like Game Range is gone. Bert now following his teammate Don into turn 1. Oh, and Don and Jutty get together. Baz hits Don on the right rear quarter panel. They get settled out, I believe. Haven't talked about Bigsy there in the focus. His teammate is NGR Scotty, who has moved his way up to 9th. I believe they're teammates. Yeah, they're just driving different vehicles. Interesting. I like it. Blue Gobi, one of the fastest guys in the series. Sitting right there, sort of mid-pack now. He obviously wants to gain a few positions before this race is over and done with. Move back up towards the front, and it is still the red cars battling for the race lead. There's Saxo, still running down Game Ranger. Bert, however, has made it up into 3rd. Of course, his teammate was just ahead of him, Don Dotter, but they got into a bit of an altercation. It looked like Jutty had obviously hit somebody, came to a slow pace to allow the driver he hit to get back into line in the running order where he should be. And those guys just flew in there, didn't realise what was happening, and that's what caused that incident. So Ranger, about a second lead, seems to be fluctuating between about 7/10 and just over a second, depending on where they are on the racetrack. Of course, these Golfs seem to have a great straight line speed. I think this is where the gap increases down this front straightaway. But the Honda Civic obviously just a little bit quicker through the S's. Let's actually go back to Jutty. He was involved in that crash. He's managing to hold his own 7th. Gobi has got around him for 6th there. Moving up towards the front where he should probably be. Let's look back in the pack, see how did Robinson get in the back. We'll have to wait and see what happened there. To hear what people said. It didn't appear there was anything wrong, but as you can see, these guys massively falling back right now. Last time we were, oh, and no, and GE55. Who was that? Someone just went for a spin there. Who is that? That is Baz 46. One of the other fast Megans. Not quite sure what's going on there. Looks like he just lost it. But these guys are in a bit of trouble. As I said, our last race winner at Suzuka East now currently sits 14th and 32 seconds back. Saxo still unable to get around our race leader Ranger in the first 5 laps here at Suzuka East. However, Bert doesn't seem to be gaining on Saxo much either. These 3 seem to be sort of evenly matched at this moment in time. We'll have to see how that plays out. Going to go back into the pack a little bit where it's looking a bit crowded around 8th place. And Josh Scotty there still in 9th, but does look like he is trying to find a way around Lorna. He's there and he has the speed if he can just find somewhere to put it. Just fly by down the front stretch here. JD Green sort of at the back of this pack of 4. But I mean, you see, equally it looks like JD does have the speed to get around Scotty. Like he's got the run there. But just where's he going to put it? I hear tyres screeching. That's always a scary sound when you can't see what's happening. So Blue Gobi still in 6th, trying to get around Polish. As you can see, he does have the speed. You can see a couple of times in the same corner he had to just tap the brakes to avoid making contact. It looks like he's going to try and throw it down the inside here. Get a run down the straightaway into 1. don't think at this moment Polish is going to challenge that. Looks like, well, he's not giving let him get away though. You can pass me, but I'll try and pass you back. This is the sprint race, not enough time to give and let go. Lou Archer, Robinson's teammate though, leading the way for the Golfs. Apart from Game Ranger, of course. Sorry, last time I was doing this, Game Ranger was not in a Golf, that's why I got confused there. So Lou Archer leading the way out of him and his teammate. His teammate says way back in the field, 30 plus seconds back. But he's proven that the team's car and setup, if they are sharing a setup, is good. So I would imagine that Robinson did run into some issues early on in this race. The problem being though, in the sprint race, there really isn't the time to make that up. If you have a problem sort of that severe where you lose that much time, just try and grab as many spots as you can, get those points. These two running very consistent lap times. The gap between them has not really varied in the last 4 laps, where we've let them drive around. There we go, drive around. They are running a very similar pace. They're obviously the quickest on the track, as now bit has fallen back to 2.2 seconds, but the actual gap between Ranger and Saxo hasn't differed really at all. Yeah, it's still in the high 8s, low 1 second times. So these guys putting on quite a show. I mean, one of them's going to have to make a mistake really to decide what happens. I mean, we're going to be coming to 6 to go at the line here. But I think for Saxo to catch Ranger's going to have to make a mistake. Especially just off that final corner. The Golf has such good straightaways. I think on the final lap, if he's gonna do this. Comment if you're still watching the stream and can see everything okay. Because my preview's just black screen now. I don't know if you guys are even still there. Again, if you are really sorry for all of the technical issues we are having here at the ORN studios here this evening, this will be rectified immediately. Well, as soon as possible, I think would be a more accurate statement. For the first time in the race, Saxo gains an advantage on Ranger, managing to get it down to the high 5 tenths behind. It's going to be quite good in the slipstream here. Thanks, Blake. Thank you for the feedback there. We'll obviously have to take a look at this. We've got other events coming up, and obviously, again, apologising to the Hot Hatch League fans that these races have not gone to plan. But we'll make sure that we come back for round 3, technical problem free. You can use that, that's a rhyme. You can put that on a t-shirt if you'd like. Now into the mid 4s. Saxo is gaining as Ranger worn his tyres out. Could be looking that way. Can Saxo be the closer here at Suzuka? Look at Game Ranger trying to break the slipstream. He knows Saxo's quicker now, and that is maybe the biggest issue Ranger's just said to Saxo right there. Saxo's looking at the windshield, and he can see that Ranger's panicking, and Saxo's going to be able to use that to his advantage. You can see Ranger there slightly over driving turn 1. Now Saxo looking to try and get around. Looks like there might have been a little bit of a bumper touch, nothing more than a kiss. But I like the way Saxo enters these corners. He's entering really wide and can really carry the speed through there. Of course, he's got no one behind him to sneak the inside. But he can just come through these corners really wide, get in the gas early and make really good speed out on corner exit. 2 to go though at the line for these two. We're going to quickly check back in the field before the white flag comes out. Let's see where Gobi managed to get himself up to 4th place. Chris O'Hagan asked what happened to Don Dotter. He was involved in like a lap 3 incident. There was a car leaving room to allow for a crash that happened. He was going to let that guy get back in line. Don was battling though, wasn't really obviously focusing on that. He was battling with someone on his inside, and as Don came around the outside, there was a very slow car there, just hit into him, went into the grass. So that is the explanation of what happened to Don. As the white flag comes out for Ranger, Saxo now 2.3 seconds back. I guess we may have missed what happened there, discussing the events of Don. But it's looking good for Game Ranger. Led every lap this race. 15 for 15 if he makes it back to the start-finish line. Saxo's making up time, but just not going to be enough. And Saxo slows. Out of the final corner, Game Ranger going to win the sprint race at Suzuka. Yeah, no problem, Chris. It was just a really unfortunate circumstance what happened to Don there. It was in turn 1. There was a slow car on the outside. He was battling. Someone was on his inside. And obviously he had nowhere to go really, just ended up clipping the back of this car, and obviously this allowed everyone to just get past. So we have Ranger, Saxo, Burt, Gobi and Lou Archer are your top 5. We'll scroll through the full results for everybody. Don managing to finish 9th. And our last off-season winner, Robinson, in 13th. And GE BRB out the final corner will come across the line in 15th. Yeah, Don's normally a very quick dude. It's got to be said. I always expect him in definitely single digits, no matter what. Oh, Game Ranger's livery seems to have disappeared there for some reason. Interesting. Alright guys, we're going to take a quick break here on the Online Racing Network. Thank you for tuning in, and once again, apologies for the technical difficulties we were having. For those of you just tuning in, sorry, we've got some connection issues with the streaming service, so you may be experiencing blotchy, low quality picture. For that I do apologise. We will get this rectified as soon as possible. But until the next race begins, grab yourself a beverage, go for a piss, whatever you quite fancy. Back in about 5 minutes, fellas. Thank you for tuning in. Alright, it's looking quite clear, guys. Just looking at the chat there on the left-hand side. What may have happened to Saxo? It looks like the game gave him penalties. Personally, I don't think these are accurate and should be turned off. Because it seems he's saying 10-second penalty for that bump, and I wouldn't even say bumped him. I would have said he got up to him, touched, but didn't actually give any force on a Ranger. That was 10 seconds and then 5. I mean, some of the penalties I don't understand. You're already getting, you've already had an issue, so you've already lost, say, 3 seconds because you've had a spin or something, but the game will give you an extra 10, just to add insult to injury. That's why I don't believe that game penalties should be on. I reckon, if you're racing in a league, for example, like this, there's plenty of people that are trustworthy, and we all video the stuff. Quite a few of the guys stream their onboards. Everyone knows what happened the entire event, so if penalties need to be applied, they can be applied afterwards. So I think it should be anyway, but that's just the Online Racing Network opinion. Of course, my opinions and views are nothing related to the drivers. That is just, however, the way I believe it would be better. As it looks like Don slowed also, which may look as why Robinson was back there in the field. Bit of a mess here at the Suzuka Sprint race, but also a congratulations to Game Ranger. However, he will be starting at the rear of the field for our feature event. We will be starting shortly. We won't be starting shortly. Here at Suzuka East for basically race 2. And who is that going out? Looks like Lorna's going out. As you can see, tyres are now part of the strategy. Look at that. We got some softs, some mediums, some super softs. We will be expecting a pit stop here in the feature race. The cars will be starting with 50 litres of fuel. That will not be enough to get them round here for 25 laps. And there you have it, guys. It looks like my prayers have been answered. Penalties have been removed. These guys are smart enough to know what deserves a penalty and what isn't enough, but I mean, they're obviously a lot smarter than the game is. Fair enough in the sport mode, in the public lobbies, etc. The penalty system does need to apply, but when you're racing in a league with trusted guys or mature guys, I don't believe there's any need. So here are the guys lined up on pit road at the minute. GE55 just going for a little drive, a little Sunday stroll. He's come in. Oh, Christ! Just got run over on pit road. G55 just ran us down. Oh no, it looks like Bert, one of our drivers from good old Belgium. Looks like there may have been a thunderstorm which has knocked out his internet. That's a new one. That's a... Like I always say, you know how in real life people have engines expire, bits of the car break, you know, people's wheels, internet can disconnect when you're driving in the virtual world, but going, oh no, Bert's been struck by lightning. That's going to take him out of this event. I believe that is what we are waiting on for, guys. Obviously this is not Bert's fault. We're going to let him get back in here if he can. He said he's on his way, and there he is, perfectly on cue. Hopefully thunder won't strike twice. So for our feature race, guys, for those of you who are new to the Hot Hatch series, oh dear. Sorry, the oh dear referring to Bert leaving the room once again. Maybe more issues there. But I'll take this time to explain how the Hot Hatch series works for those of you who are unaware. So we've just had our sprint race, 15 laps here at Suzuka East. Now the guys just having sort of a happy hour break session. You can choose to practice a little bit more, or you can, you know, just sit in the pits and await the start of the feature. The feature is 25 laps. Pit stops are more or less mandatory. The guys not given enough fuel to make it to the end, so they do have to pit. And also we will have a reverse grid for the feature, so Game Ranger will be starting in the last position as he was the winner of the race. Second last will be Saxo as he crossed the line in second, etc, etc. So this actually puts Robinson in a good place, and Don as well. As you know, they had issues on track in the sprint race, and now they have the ability to hopefully shine a bit and run up front here in the feature. So I reckon if they start up there, they'll be able to stick up there for sure. Oh dear, and a bit of a crash there. I think that was Baz and GE making contact. It was. Baz is off to the beach there. Not the right weather really for that. So we got Robinson is going to start on soft. Scotty has opted for mediums. Seems like mediums and super softs are the dominant choice. Well, I suppose actually no, it seems they are rather equal. Medium softs and super softs. Nobody has opted for any hards, it would seem, unless one of those guys in the top 5. Oh no, Bert is having some proper issues here. He's able to join the server, but doesn't seem he's able to stay in, which is now the problem. So it looks like we will go green flag racing without Bert. Looks like Bert will sadly be getting a DNF or a DNS for technical difficulties. It happens, but the event must go on. I've just noticed those nuclear decals on the back of Baz's car, pretty cool. They look pretty nice. Robinson requesting that all the drivers come on to the racetrack. Scotty, Saxo, JD Green, Polish. These guys all coming now. Saxo and Scotty still sat there on pit road, not looking to move just yet. So unfortunate there for Bert, but we have to start the event. The final has begun. The final event of tonight, the GT Sport Next Gen Hot Hatch Races Suzuka East feature race, brought to you by the Online Racing Network. I'm Jamie Scrafton, and let's get this thing underway. Ah, there it is. Sorry, my controller's going to die, and if that dies, then I can't speak any longer, so I better get that fixed. I almost said erected for some reason. Not the correct choice of words. GE on the... Hello? Am I still streaming, or... I don't know what's going on. Oh, yeah, I'm still streaming, okay. So looks like we've had a... I don't know. Full disconnect. Maybe it's thunderstorming here and I just don't know it yet. I got my headphones on. No server listed. A bit poopy. Again, I must apologise. Got some news from NJ Robinson, our lobby host. It just apparently disconnected from his end. Blue Gobi says, one day we'll have 2 races without it fucking up. And I totally agree with that statement. For some reason, I mean, we don't even race. I mean, we'll race once a week. The races aren't particularly long. Of course, we have a sprint and we have a feature, and even the feature really is not that long. I like to call it the short and sweet style of racing. But yeah, that was a bit annoying. Well guys, thank you for tuning in for round 2. Since there's all these problems going on, I think I'm just going to discontinue the stream. Ask that the guys, they've saved the replays for me, and because the video has been in such poor quality the whole time, I will probably just go ahead and re-stream those races, but from the replays. So I'll do my best to avoid finding out the details from race 2. Obviously I've seen race 1 already, I watched it live, commentated on it live, but I mean, I'm looking at my preview in full HD here, and it's just... it's a bit of a mess, isn't it? It's not right. So yeah, mental, isn't it, Blake? Blake's just referring there in the chat. Dave did hosted a 6-hour charity race for his other half, and we had no issues for that, none whatsoever, and that was a 6-hour affair. But oh well. I've asked the guys to save the replays, hopefully they do, and if that gets done, that will be my mission tomorrow, to record those videos, not stream them just in case it's a mess, but I'll record those in the same format that I stream, and I will hopefully get those uploaded for you tomorrow night, guys. So I do apologise for what has gone on tonight from my end and these guys' end. A bit of a disastrous first outing for the Next Gen Hot Hatches, but it wouldn't have been the same without those disasters. So thank you for tuning in, guys. If you haven't already, do subscribe to the Online Racing Network for more races. I'm not going to say like this one because it went a bit messy, but we will be doing some pretty cool events coming this week. Thursday night we should have the GT3 Championship provided to us by the race department, and there's something else coming up. It's on my calendar, but can't think of it right now of all of the stuff that's going on. So take care, guys, and we will see you tomorrow. Cheers, guys. Bye bye.